Hi. So yesterday, last night, we were watching the TV, and there wasn't much on TV, even though we have like 1,000 channels. So I was just beeping around, and then I was caught in a movie. And I started to watch the movie, and it was about this family that were going to move to, I don't know, Thailand or something like that. And there was a war, and they tried to leave, and they had 2 girls with them, and it was all this drama, and it got me to think about why we live in such much fear. I don't watch the news anymore. I don't read the newspapers. And many people ask me, why don't you watch the news? You can't live in this little bubble where you don't know what's happening in the world. And I don't live in a bubble. I live in the real world. Because when you're watching the news, all you hear about is fear, war, someone got murdered, or something terrible happened in a different country. It's all about scaring you. You can't choose what you want to hear. You don't hear any positive news or anything that's good. It's all about all the negative things that have happened. And who decides what you are going to watch? You don't decide what's on the news or what's in the paper. Someone is choosing what you are going to see and what reality you think you are living in. And I don't want no one to make that decision but me. I want to decide what I believe, what I fill my life with. So that's why I don't watch the news anymore, and that's why I don't read the papers. Things get to me anyway. I don't need to watch the news. And as I was watching that movie yesterday, I watched maybe for 20 minutes, and then I just felt, no, what is this doing to me? It's just making me feel scared, uncomfortable. I was thinking about my own children, what if we were in that situation. So I turned it off, and we just didn't watch TV. Instead, we started to talk to each other. And because so many people live in fear. We are afraid of the things we see on the news or in the newspapers. We are afraid of things that doesn't has to happen to us. So we are afraid of war. We are afraid of terrorism. We are afraid of you name it. Anything that we are seeing on the news, we are afraid of. And why are we afraid? Right here, right now, I am safe. There is no war here. There are no terrorists in my house as we speak. Right now, I don't have anything to be afraid of. And even though I and many with me doesn't have anything to be afraid of, so many people live in fear. And they are afraid of everything bad that could happen. It hasn't happened yet, but it could happen. And that's why they are afraid. And the more afraid they are, the more news they're watching, the more papers they're reading, and watching all this fake news on Facebook. And all that does, it doesn't serve you any good. It just makes you smaller. It makes your world smaller, and it makes you smaller, that you don't do what you want to do. Maybe you don't travel. You're afraid of different people you don't know, people that doesn't look like you, because on the news you've been hearing this and that and that. So I want you to start to think about what you surround yourself with. Are you living in fear? And do you really have something to be afraid of? Just stop and think about this. Do you really have something to be afraid of? What will happen if you stop watching the news? What will happen if you don't surround yourself with all this news about all these negative things people say are happening in the world? What will happen? How do you think you are going to feel? Do you think you are going to feel different? Do you think that maybe you will stop being afraid and that you will be more positive? Give it a try. Maybe it will do you great, and maybe it will change your everyday life. And I will promise you, you won't miss out on anything. You will, the weather is going to happen anyway. Even though maybe it's sunny, cloudy, rainy, the weather will come. You don't have to worry about that. And you won't be left out. You are going to know what is happening in the world anyway. So try not to watch the news, not read newspapers, and stop clicking on this shit just rolling on Facebook. It's just out there to scare you. Because when you are scared, you become these little people. And when you are these little people, the big people can take over. And we don't want that. You are the creator of your own life. Now I have a wasp behind me. So, I hope you have a wonderful Monday. If you doesn't know who I am, my name is Carolina. I work as a purpose finder, comfort zone remover. And if you want to know more about me or follow me on social media, you find everything in here in the description. I hope you have a wonderful day. Lots and kisses.